Most of us love horror movies. There are the great ones, bad ones, some that all love and some that nobody loves. But whether they're rated good or bad, they all got a lot of mistakes in common. And I'm not talking about mistakes like this mannequin fail from the first Nightmare on Elm Street installment. No, I'm talking about the 3 worst mistakes that most of horror movies got in common. So if you want to find out if your favorite horror movie includes one of these mistakes, and much more, then stay tuned right now. Welcome back to the Fake Night Show, your most unreliable source for news. It's time for another meme review. This time it's about horror movies. So it's gonna be scary, my dudes. It's Halloween, Spooktober, the scariest time of the year. And especially now, many of us are in the mood for a good horror movie.
Yo soy Jacinto el Grande, toma. Si serás imbécil, Jacinto. Todos mis antepasados son judíos. ¿Ah, sí? Pues mira lo que tengo. ¡Heil Hitler!
There's a lot of choice, there are a lot of good movies that will creep you out. But even in the best of the best, you can find a lot of fuck-ups that actually destroy the horror a bit. And those mistakes are what we're talking about today. The top 3 mistakes that most horror movies got in common. Number 1. There is no logic for killers. The killers can do whatever they want if it is important for the story. And an example of this can be seen in a movie series with a legendary villain. You all know him, the man with the creepy white face, empty eyes, the man that appears when that creepy music starts, the criminal who hunts the babysitters. Of course, I'm talking about Michael Myers. And even though the Halloween franchise and Michael Myers are without a doubt legendary, they still make use of the missing logic error. There are little mistakes like this one, when in Halloween the actor unintentionally used the wrong blonde mask. Something like that can happen. I don't want to be picky like some who accused Michael Myers of being homophobic. I mean, he's a murderer, of course he's going to kill everyone. Well, let's talk about the era that killers can do whatever they want if it's important for the storyline, even though sometimes it doesn't make sense at all. In the Halloween installment, we can already see this in the first part. You all know the story of Michael Myers. As a 6-year-old, he kills his sister and is therefore locked up. In the first Halloween movie, he breaks out after 17 years and escapes back to his home Haddonfield to kill again. I don't know what he did in this institution there, but it seems that he was allowed to further his education. And he even was able to get his driver's license. The whole film he cruises again and again, quite chill through the city. And he also knows the traffic rules. Just look at how Michael Myers in this scene is looking both ways for oncoming traffic. Michael Myers is surely a responsible serial killer and a much more responsible driver than many other drivers out on the streets. Let's move on to the next mistake that most of the horror movies got in common. Number 2. The killers take too much time and sometimes they don't seem to want to kill at all. A rule that applies especially when the villain faces a main protagonist. We could show this mistake again on the slowest of all killers, Michael Myers Sr. On Freddy Krueger, who can control dreams, but apparently that doesn't really make him more effective with main protagonist. Perhaps his role should have been Freddy Two-Time Krueger. But we'd rather like to present it with a Wes Craven masterpiece. The movie that revived the slasher genre and turned an entire generation inside out. I mean upside down in the 90s. Scream also has some flaws. Not only that Ghostface walks around in costume during the day, or that one scene where you can clearly see crew members in the movie, or that little probably wanted booby inspector mistake. Ghostface seems to have a special preference, especially when it comes to killing. As if everything was scripted. He likes to take his time when killing main protagonists. He does this, for example, with Sidney Prescott. Even though he already targets her in the beginning, he just doesn't seem to succeed, because she's the main protagonist. He gets a lot of chances, but he still waits way too long. And it looks a little slapstick at times. Jim Carrey would surely be proud of his performance. Even if Ghostface wants to kill Sidney badly, he doesn't seem to be allowed to have the necessary skills. Let's move on to mistake number 3 that most horror movies got in common. The ghosts, monsters, the murderers sometimes seem to just want to troll, as if they want to support the structure of the story way too obvious. Sometimes it's little pranks like the dance of It the Clown at the end of the movie. Or the vomiting scene of the overpowered demon in the horror masterpiece The Exorcist from 1973. Which is more reminiscent of Eminem's Just Lose It video. And sometimes the creepy activities of the demons go on almost through the whole movie. Like Paranormal Activity, the movie series that has been using the same found footage principle for many, way too many years.
Flickering, these ones that are in the ceiling. We've had water from the faucets turn on and off.
It seems that the demon only wants to check if all the utilities are working in order. Or check out this scene where the ghost pushes the door, but only slightly. Now, if you've seen Paranormal Activity, you'll know that even if the activities of the demon get a little bit creepier, the movie doesn't get better at all. Why does the demon first need to troll before he strikes? Maybe it's just for the lots. Of course, you can't be too picky. Many of these movies are still masterpieces that can creep you out. But the fact that a lot of the horror movies got those mistakes in common sometimes takes away from the excitement. That's why I'm always happy to see new movies that leave these rules behind and surprise me. Now it's your time again, my dudes. What's the biggest mistake that you have noticed in a horror movie? And because it's Halloween, do you have some recommendations? Let us know your answers in the comment section down below. And of course, as usually, the best comments are going to get displayed at the end of the next video.
Wow!
This is the Fake Night Show, your most reliable source for memes. Thanks for watching.
Ich bin ein Trottel.
Wieso?
So.